Hi. I just thought I'd take the time to take a second and talk a little bit about grief. And I was talking to one of my clients today, and we were talking about how, you know, right now things feel out of routine and things don't feel normalized, and it's hard to get the motivation to do things that you want to do to be productive or to take care of yourself. And so we started to talk about grief and how pretty much with any change, and I'm gonna speak to this from my own personal experience. This isn't really something that I've studied. It's something that I've learned along the way through multiple levels of self-care and self-learning, but with any change, whether it's positive or negative, there comes a level of grief, and that's been my experience. And with any transition, there's a grieving process around what used to be. And even if it's a positive change, you can still have a grieving process. And grief is just weird, I think there's times where it's easy to feel so overwhelmed, and not by anything but particular, but just in general, and feel shut down or feel like your brain's not working or isn't online. Right now I'm going through some pretty stressful stuff, obviously with the pandemic and those things, but I've also lost somebody who was a client of mine, who I cared very deeply about last week. And my partner actually lost a coworker and last week as well. And somebody else we care about is going through a really difficult time. And so, what do you do when you don't know what to do? When there's a whole list of things that you're supposed to do, and it feels impossible to get to that list, and overwhelm kicks in, and depression maybe, or you want to put a label on it, but you don't know what to label it as. So I know from my own experience, setting a timer actually helps a lot for me if I give myself permission to feel my feelings for a period of time. And then I make an agreement with myself that after that period of time, I'm going to whatever it is. So get up and wash the dishes, or go ahead and, get to some bills that I need to pay, or whatever it is that is the responsibility piece that also helps me show up for myself. And this brings me into kind of a neuro component. When we talk about self-care, what's really fascinating is one of the areas that directly impacts our emotional well-being and stability is an area that actually takes in all of our incoming sensory input. So I know for a lot of people, you can get to a place where you're like, why even shower, or why even brush my teeth today? Or it's hard to eat, or you just keep eating the same thing because it's hard to cook for yourself, or whatever it is that you may be going through. The regular self-care, hygienic pieces of routine that we do in our everyday lives, like shower and brush our teeth, actually are very stimulating neurologically. And I know from my experience, I actually feel usually really, really good after a shower, and I always feel better, and my mood improves, and I feel lighter, and I feel more mobile and more sharp, or more relaxed. Brushing the teeth is also a really, really stimulating sensory experience for your brain. And the area that I was talking about, it's called the insula. It attaches meaning to all incoming input, and it directly impacts things like our emotional well-being. It's our entire physiologic system, so all of our organs are tied to this area. It is very much impacted by things that happen in the mouth. So actually stimulating your gums and brushing your teeth, and the flavor of toothpaste and the texture of your toothbrush on your tongue. All those things can be really, really powerful stimulators for cranial nerves and actually bring a more grounded sense, a better feeling of body ownership, and better stability and mood for the day. So if you're going through a difficult time right now, we all have our unique areas that where you're struggling with different things, and some of us are struggling more and than others in certain ways. Know that you're not alone, and this too shall pass. And for me, you know, just starting with the basics and putting together a plan of, okay, what's the next right thing for me to do today? I usually have an answer if I'm not sure how to make it through each moment at a time. So I hope that's helpful. It just really struck me today while I was talking to my client, then also to my sister, and how powerful and amazing our bodies are. And we have this whole pharmacy of chemicals available to us, something that we can access at any time. And just our general hygienic routine behaviors every day actually is a really amazing neurological stimulus that can really help you feel grounded and feel solid and ready for the next moment to come. I hope you enjoy this.